We're going to start this video off with a quick disclaimer, because I know whenever I make videos like this, it tends to rub people the wrong way, it ruffles people's feathers, but y'all should know by now that I do not care. You know, I'm a guy that's just going out here and learning some stuff, and when I learn something cool that goes against the status quo, I'm going to share it with the world. You know, it's just as simple as that. You know, in real life, I'm not going to sit here and have religious-based arguments. I'm not going to be the one of these college campuses trying to argue with someone. That's never going to be me. We can have conversations and we can talk about what we agree with and disagree with, you know, but at the end of the day, you're going to do what you want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. You know, it's just, you guys have to also remember, this is the internet. And sometimes you need to use controversy. Sometimes you need to, you know, promote conflict to set the stage for a good conversation. All right, and that's just all I want to do here. So if you take the things personally, hey, if it don't apply, let it fly. It's as simple as that, you know. But with that being said, let's go ahead and piss some people off. All right, so how spiritual people see religious people, right? If you are spiritual, that means that you didn't have all the answers growing up. There were certain things in religion that didn't make sense to you, and whenever you asked the people that are supposed to be the experts about it, they didn't have the answers either. They gave you these simple little phrases that every religion has, and anytime new information comes to light that's outside of that frame of reference of religion, if there's a note that comes from out here and your religion says this, it's automatically rejected, it's automatically demonized, right? One of the things that we observe of spiritual people, of religious people, is that everything you do is holy, sanctified, justified. Everything that we do is demonic, devil-worshipping, lost, dark, evil. Right? For example, an easy example, right? Crystals. I wear this crystal around my neck. It's a gift from my mother, and I haven't taken it off since I've received it. Okay? And I got it. I wanted it specifically because I believe that this crystal in particular helps with my intellect. It keeps me smart. You know? But some people would say that, oh, he's allowing a spirit into himself by working with that crystal and this and that, and all crystals are evil. How can crystals be demonic if it grew out of the dirt that God created? You do realize crystals were used in the Bible, right? Go read those first two books. I believe it's either Genesis or Exodus. But they were talking about the different usages of crystals. And if crystals are so demonic and bad, then put your phone down. Put your computer down, because they use crystal technology in those. Actually, go ahead and cut out a piece of your brain, because there's piezoelectric signals that are sent in your brain that operate from little tiny crystals that are in your pineal gland. This is the stuff that we're trying to tell you, but we're demonized for utilizing these things. We use it. Oh, so something not given by God is bad. Okay, then why do you use the cross in exorcisms? There's nothing in the Bible that says that you're supposed to be using the cross really for anything. Now, I understand it says carry my cross and all that type of stuff, but it doesn't mean hold it up and like this thing has some power. That's just my humble belief, you know? But then, for example, with mudras is another thing that's demonized. When you put, especially when you do the scary ones, when you put your hands and they're all twisted together like this and stuff, that's really, oh, that's a demon stuff. He's channeling demons by putting his hands together. Wait a minute. Have I seen depictions of Jesus himself standing like this? This is just one mudra, but this is half of it, or maybe there's one or two, or this is mixed together. But nevertheless, this is half of the principle of as above, so below. This is what we spiritual people, like a lot of us, even like this is like a common rule. This is like a universal law, as above, so below, that we appreciate. But when we say that, that's demonic, because if you go and Google this, you'll either see the Tree of Life, you'll see books about the Kabbalah, or like the Kabbalion pop up, or you might see something like the Baphomet, where it's like that goat-headed thing that's, you know, like up and down, like, you know, as above, so below. Now, to be fair, I'll give y'all this one. I'm on the fence with the Baphomet, but y'all need to understand that the Baphomet and the devil are two different entities. You need to know that. This is what happens when you go outside and you learn what these things are. If you're going to be scared of something, be scared appropriately. That's all I'm saying. But nevertheless, we're applying the same principles, but ours are demonized, but yours are okay. So when we say as above, so below, and I've seen videos like where someone did this on camera, and they say, oh, we caught them in the act. The satanic devil worshiper did that. And it's just like, maybe. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hollywood is about all of that, but it's about how you use these principles. There's good Christians, there's bad Christians. There's good spiritual people, there's bad spiritual people. Stop lumping everybody into one demonic cult. We can say that some of you guys act cult-like, but I'm getting ahead of myself, you know, because with this as above, so below principle, you guys have it. No, we don't. We don't do. Oh, you don't? Can someone please recite to me the Lord's Prayer, please? Don't worry, a demon worshiper like me will do it for you. Our Father that art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. And these hand symbols are just a representation of that principle. But yet when we do it, it's bad. When you do it, it's good. You see, your guy Jesus, what y'all don't realize is homie learned from the Eastern philosophies. Why do you think he said focus on the single eye and you will be filled with light? That's the third eye. That's the pineal gland. That's the Eastern mysticism thing. You know, that's what he said that for, because he was trained by them, and he brought it back to his people. And then when he did the same shit, when he went out and learned some stuff and came back to his people, what happened to him? We all know what happened. You see? And now the same thing, we are perpetuating that story. Whenever we go out here and learn something, we bring it back to our families, for example, we get demonized and say, oh, there goes our hippie child. That's the weird one that talks to the crystals and burns the sage and stuff. But you do the same thing. Don't y'all have incense? Don't y'all burn candles? We're doing the same things, but one is good, one is bad automatically. You know, y'all have rituals and ceremonies too. We do our rituals, it's bad. You do your rituals, we don't do rituals, and you don't? In the Catholic Church, you walk in, you have to do the cross. Did y'all see what I just did there? You see, us spiritual people, we're trying to tell y'all that some of the stuff that you're doing ain't what you think it is, potentially. It's up to you to decide. You know, but when you walk into a church, you go up, down, left, right. Now go do that cross again. Up, down, left, right. What shape did you just imprint on your body? We can debate about it, but that seemed like an upside down cross to me. How many wars have been waged in the name of religion? The holy wars, the crusades, all this type of stuff. Even though the book says thou shalt not kill, even in today in present time, you guys will go to war and go shoot up a village with a Bible in your breastplate. Doesn't that seem like a walking contradiction? That's why one of my favorite movies was Hacksaw Ridge, where he said, yo, they said thou shalt not kill. I'm not going to kill. I'll go to war. I'll go be a medic. I'll go heal people, but I'm not killing because that's my religious belief. And that's where we start to look at some of y'all and be like, hey, do y'all know y'all's rules as much as you think you do? You know? But then the other thing is, it's like we see a lot of you as illiterate and ignorant. I know we use some crazy words there, but like, you know, for me personally, my own personal belief, I think that 70-something% of Christians haven't even opened the Bible, haven't even really read it from beginning to end. I truly do believe that, because if y'all did, there'd be a greater discussion, you know, and there'd be a lot less of the problems in the world. If all the Christians understood the Bible to a higher level instead of looking at it as a literal text, there would be a lot more understanding and peace on this planet, in my humble opinion, right? But, you know, the thing is, it's like, a lot of you, like I referred to before, is like a lot of you want to ignore the fact that all these religions that you were taught in our present day to hate, especially because of 9/11, all of you are so scared of Muslims and they're anti-God and they're devils and they're just going to here to kill us and all this type of stuff. No. The Bible was directly influenced by these things. You all do realize of the big 3, 4 religions, 5, whatever, Christianity is relatively new. You know, and like these shouldn't be taken as disrespectful. Christianity is new, and it took from all of these things. So when we go out here and learn stuff, we bring it back to you and we be like, yo, like, wait, y'all don't see this as a copy and paste of an older story? How do you know that this happened when thousands of years before your religion, that exact story was taught in the schools? It's just something to think about. Stop automatically rejecting things and closing your ears, because the Bible says itself, let eyes see and ears hear clearly and all that type of stuff. I might mess that up, but y'all know what I'm saying. It says that. For people ready for that information, like they oftentimes it referred that you have to ask for the wisdom. You have to open yourself up to it first, and then it comes in. This is what some of the stuff is in the Bible, but yet when we apply these principles, we are the demonic ones. You know, like it's weird to me. You know, like we have fun with like looking at the mystical understandings of biblical texts of the Quran, Torah, Dead Sea Scrolls, all that type of stuff, we know that it was written in a higher language, but y'all want to take things very literally. This is the word of God and should not be changed at all. And we take everything literally until it makes absolutely no sense. And then all of a sudden, then it's a metaphor. You see? Like in what was it? Revelations? Like, I think it was like Revelations 9, 10. Either way, it was like basically, I think it was like John, and he was given like a book and like, or a small scroll, book or scroll, depending on which translation you got. And like, it was like, and then it was saying when you eat from these pages, the taste in your mouth will be sweet like honey, but then it will be bitter in your stomach. Y'all gonna take that literally? Are you gonna take that literally? Are y'all gonna start taking every religious text and start eating the pages? No, that's clearly a metaphor. That's clearly a metaphor. Not this, that, but that's a metaphor because that doesn't actually make sense. This is where we are with it. All of this is something that's supposed to be ingested by the heart, by the mind, not just the physical things. Some of y'all say, like, with the eyes see clearly, ears hear clearly. Y'all think that's just, a healthy vessel will be able to do that, which is true, but there's higher levels to this. Can the person see the coded wisdom that's in here? Y'all have been so turned away from the word occult and dark sayings. But occult and dark sayings, occult just means hidden knowledge, hidden wisdom, and darkness is just a byproduct of that by saying like the dark just means unclear, not right there in front of you. It doesn't mean doom and gloom every single time. Sometimes it can. But like it doesn't automatically mean doom and gloom. It just means something that's not clear. The dark sayings, the things that are confusing a little bit. When you're learning, us spiritual people, we're not scared to go into the dark and figure it out because we have our protection. Why are you so scared of demons? Why are you so scared of evil? Why are you so scared of the so-called darkness? When even though I walk through the valley of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Why do y'all have such a fear-based religion? Y'all are scared to hear some of the stuff we're talking about because, that's the devil trying to get in. Why is everything fearful? Why is everything that's supposed to feed you power something that you're scared of and you run away from every time? Why do you ignore things that are in this book? Why do you pick and choose what you want to take in from this book? But when we pick and choose different things, again, we are the ones that are punished. It's weird. It's just weird, Lastly, we see you guys as kind of cult-like. Anyone that doesn't believe in what you believe is doomed to hell. We're lost. We're confused. We're useless. It is what it is. But we're supposed to get down with being born sinners. Wait, aren't y'all the ones that draw naked children all up on y'all's wall? Y'all could have drawn anything, angels, depictions of God, so you could draw anything, but y'all draw naked babies flying around. And we know the history with the Catholic Church. Call no man on earth thy father. Go into the closet and close the door and talk to God in private. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what it says. And yet, y'all don't question the fact that man has usurped the role of God. Father John, Father Timothy, Father Jacob. And then you send your children to these people and you wonder why your kid really doesn't want to go to that Catholic summer camp. I'll let y'all fill in the blanks with that. And it's like, it's weird how everything outside, like let's just say you turn on the news one day and 24-year-old Bob Smith caught eating his neighbor to appease his God. Oh my gosh, the devil has gotten into him. Oh, how could he be so lost? The devil got another one. Oh man. Okay, let me go to church and take communion. Where you eat the skin and drink the blood of Christ. My thing is like, okay, that's supposed to be you being one with Christ and all that type of stuff. So what happens when he comes back? I get it, it's symbolic, but once again, demonic when they do it, perfectly acceptable when you do it. That's weird. That's weird because it's symbolic. Okay, so when he comes back, what you gonna do? Bite his ankle? Drink his blood? You're drinking blood. You say that sex magic is demonic. You say blood magic is demonic, but look at what you're doing. And we're sitting here like, yo, do they not know what they're doing to themselves? So, well, look, with all this I'm not saying that I'm 100% right. I'm just saying that this is what we notice with y'all. And we kind of get justified in our observations when we bring it up to you, and you guys just automatically reject it. There's nothing weird about that. There's nothing wrong with eating and drinking the blood. There's nothing wrong with literally trying to eat pages out of a book. There's nothing wrong with this. And we can ask some of you, like, were there giants? I have actually done this. A lot of the things I'm saying come from actual experiences that I've had. Are there giants, or were there giants walking around on this planet? I have received the answer no so many times. I'm not expecting, I can only speak for myself. I'm not expecting everyone to be a biblical scholar, being able to memorize and rattle off scripture off the top of their heads at any given moment. That's not what I'm expecting. However, when it's like simple little trivia things like that, I think you should kind of know it. Before you want to get all judgmental and calling everything demonic and everything is this and that, you shouldn't be doing this and let me show you the better way. You better know your book a little bit better before you go and pass judgment on us. Let ye without sin cast the first stone, and we have been dodging rocks all throughout history. Salem witch trials, crusades, Spanish inquisitions, all these holy wars, thou shalt not kill, but you go into war because some dude in a robe told you to. Yep.